certainly a water hero and the CEO of the water tower. You know, when I see everything that's going on, and certainly in the industry, and the absolute impact that the water tower is even now and will in the future have, it's very exciting to be here with you this morning.
Thank you.
So with that, why don't you, if you would, give us a little background on yourself and how you came to found the water tower.
Yeah, so I've been blessed to work in the water industry for 30 years. Very diverse background. So grew up working for a public state agency. Did some time in an international consulting firm. Worked for a few governors. Done a few things, all water related, all water industry related. And then the big change that I made was moving to DC to run an association, and then ultimately a research foundation. So it's sort of all of those pieces together that I've tried to bring into the water tower. The previous director, who's since retired at Gwinnett County DWR, brought me down from DC, really stalked me and said, come on, you got to do this. He had a great vision, and you know, it was built upon that vision and created this guy behind me. It's pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing. So why don't you talk a little bit about everything that's going on in April?
So April's really our big splash in the industry. We've been doing some programming the last couple of years, some networking events and events like that. But really waiting for the building to be built. So at this point, we're, let's see, this is March 8th, and we're a couple weeks from moving in. Wow. So we'll do soft opening, if you will, of the facility, just to make sure everything's all smooth. But we picked Earth Day, April 22nd, to be our, like I said, big splash for the industry. So we're going to do, you know, remember the great expos that we always attended at WEFTEC and ACE?
Yes.
We're going to do sort of the expo, but it's going to be things which are being demonstrated on the campus. So we'll have a huge expo area in a couple different places on the campus. We'll have ongoing demonstrations of the training courses that we're going to have here. So everything from emergency power to heavy equipment, you know, to backflow prevention and all kinds of things. So we'll highlight all of those things too, so people can really come and experience and understand the types of things that they'll be able to see on the campus and participate in on the campus.
So it's, you know, you've been around not only water, but water and research and associations, and now this massive endeavor. I mean, when I first heard this, I think it's been almost 2 years ago at WebTech. It was like, it's almost overwhelming. So what you're doing and what you're accomplishing here. So what motivates you as CEO of the water tower?
I think for me, the motivation, and actually I could say this all the way back to when I started my career, is really about making connections. So it's understanding what people need and want, and then trying to meet those needs and wants. And I think the water industry, and particularly public utilities, you know, they have their own daunting tasks that they're dealing with. Add on top of that their desire to be more efficient and more effective and more protective, and you know, when faced with things like COVID, to be able to respond to that quickly. And there are technologies and there are initiatives out there that can help those, but there's so many, and there's so many different things that they're battling. So if I can simplify that and make some connections, and help our public utilities bring in new workforce, train that workforce on new technologies, and then help them figure out which technologies will really help them be the best they can be and the best partners in their local communities, then that's what motivates me.
So it sounds like your motivation is around the impact that you see the water tower having.
Yeah.
Which really, the gamut from demo to instruction and teaching and so on and so forth.
Right.
is, quite a range.
Absolutely.
So give me maybe a specific example of the impact, maybe at a next gen level impact, or if that works, or a utility. What
Well, I mean, you mentioned next gen. As an industry, we're facing this crisis, right?
Yes.
Trying to bring people into the industry, from skilled trades through professional positions.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me, the biggest impact is even if it's just setting the stage at a local level, if we can show a marked increase in the number of people coming into our industry, it's going to have a huge impact. We know, the great tsunami's coming. The number of people that are at or near retirement is huge. You hear people talking about this all the time. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I want to figure out how to make water sexy so they actually want to work here. Fantastic jobs, and we just need to tell the story. And luckily for me, I think, at least this is my plan, having a facility like this that really accentuates smart technology and brings it in and shows it to you, no matter where you are in your journey, and gets you excited about it, is going to help. That's the goal.
So, I mean, what you're really doing is you're really making what everybody talks about as far as technology in water real and demonstratable, so people can actually see it, put their hands on it, and get engaged.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you've had a pretty long relationship with Global Waterworks.
Yeah.
A lot of organizations out there, and so what do you see at Global Waterworks that really works for you and works for the industry?
Yeah, there are a few options out there for networking platforms, but for me, it's the backbone of the platform. It's the people behind it. I mentioned the desire to make connections. That there is no bigger advocate for the water industry than Mary. I'm so serious. And she is the backbone. She's constantly connecting people. She's constantly trying to get the message out there. And you are a water hero as well. And I think it's knowing that it's not just a platform. It's not just a bot somewhere that's connecting things or throwing articles up. It's people who are passionate about water, who want to share and who want to help other people in other communities. And that's the beauty of it.
So coming back to you and the water tower, where do you see, maybe take it out 12 to 18 months from the launch, from the April 22nd date? What does it look like?
A very dynamic and active campus. By that point, I hope we're starting on the phase 2 building, which would mean that more people are moving onto the campus. Just a place, again, where people come from all over the world to see it, to experience it, to participate. Just action. I want to look out the window and go, oh, wow, there's some more people. There's a bus coming in. We want to be the place where people want to go. Yes, very dynamic.
Very dynamic. Melissa, this has been wonderful. And I talking with you from when we first met in Chicago, and following you and having conversations along the way, it's always uplifting. It's exhilarating to talk with you. You have such a positive attitude, and you put that attitude to work and prove that water really works. Thank you so much.
I'm trying. Okay. I'll see you soon.
Take care, Melissa.